and welcome to this episode of the Gunman Raw. So, just got a little job here today. I thought I would take you guys through it. Why not? So, it's just a brand new rear bumper, a repair on the tailgate. We're doing this part here mainly for the colour because that butts up right against that rear bumper there. And there's a little bit up on the top spoiler there. And then I'm doing a couple of little blends on those quarter panels too. So it's first thing in the morning as of making this vid. And I actually got all of this ready last night. So it's it's winter here at the moment, so it's actually a nice place to be first thing in the morning in a nice warm spray booth. I'm not going to complain. You might notice a few flakes all over the place. I've been on a respray. If you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, you might have seen a few updates on it. But if you don't, I've got a full respray out there on a WRX, but it's going candy over flakes on the entire car. So yes, definitely been a bit of fun doing that job, but I'm only halfway through that job. So I've painted just the insides. I've actually repaired all the outsides, primed them all, blocked them all, and then what we're going to do is I actually had to flow coat the insides as well because of the nature of flakes. So I've done the insides, then we're going to get those panels put back on, and then back to me, a little bit more prep, and then get it in the booth, candy over flakes, and then sand it all back and flow coat it. So definitely gonna be good to see that one done. There you go, mate, new Gunman suit. Go buy yourself one, support the channel. Have a look at that. Woo! Nice new Gunman suit, baby. We've got holes in the pocket. So these are a couple of things that I actually had done. They didn't have holes in the pockets because sometimes when you already got your paint suit on, you might need to like get your collab blade, something like that. You might need to get your camera to do take a photo or whatever, answer a phone call. So that's why I had those pockets installed. Two bar. So this has got plastic additive in it, which means I don't have to put plastic primer down because it's got the additive in there. Yeah, PPG colours aren't great. I would not say they're great. And this colour is no exception. This colour is actually a bit of a tricky colour at the best of times, even with standoff. I mean, I found a good variant with standoff, but even standoff one is not perfect. So, it's always, for me, it's just always been a blender, like blend everywhere when you're doing machine grey. I noticed some scratches there, so I'm actually just going on a bit heavier to fill up some of those scratches. I don't usually go over parts twice. But you probably noticed that I covered up those blends so we don't get any overspray from the wet on wet on them. So the next thing I do is go out, turn the booth up to 30 degrees. So when I'm spraying this wet on wet, I like to spray it at like I think I turned it on 22 or 24 this morning. I don't like when I went drying too quick. You don't want it drying as you're applying. But now that it's down, I'll go turn the boots up and clean this gun out. I'll be back to bed. Alright, so that's probably been about 15 to 20 minutes since I put that wet on wet down. I ended up going out and mixing up the colour for my next job because it was taking a bit longer to dry. But yeah, it's actually good to get back onto the smash jobs. Like, as much as I really enjoyed a couple of weeks on a big job, I think smash work is where my heart's at, you know, and I think probably my strength, you know, like I'm probably better. I mean, I'm not, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't say I'm bad at doing like resprays and the more like custom and restoration style work, but I don't know, I like doing the bang in, bang out, you know, that's just my style, I guess. Get bored of working on the same bloody car for so long. And that's happened to me like on my own cars over the years, right? With that VL that I did on this on my other channel years ago, by the time I finished that car, I hated it. Absolutely hated that car. And I just loathed the amount of money that I spent on it. And towards the end, I didn't care about it. I just wanted the thing out of my life. And then I look at something like that Corolla that I drive now, cost me 20,000 bucks. And it just works. Everything, you know, like the best car, I swear, that little Corolla, best car I've ever had. Never misses a beat. You know that when you wake up in the morning it's gonna start, unlike the old clunkers. Not gonna be spending money on it left, right and centre. Still been going 30% reducer with the EnviroBase, and it drives it down much nicer. That's where all of my dieback was coming from. All that time. I thought it was bloody solvent flow, but it wasn't. So more reducer in the colour and more reducer in the clear. So here in Australia, I mentioned it before, but you might have missed it. Here in Australia, they recommend 15% reducer in your colour. I recommend 30. I say double it. Because it actually dries properly this way. All the other guys that I work with, they're still getting dieback on every single job. But they're rude people that don't even talk to me. So I'm not going to give them any pointers. I just told my boss, look, I want to blend those corners, man, just let me chop it in off that line. And he's like, alright then. That was my fault, these little blends. But yeah, I'm going to hold that, grab that blower, dry that base coat down for a minute, be back to the second coat. But I can tell already that's drying down nice and fast. You see that? I'll just show you just how long it takes. I know it's a bit boring watching paint dry, but if somebody was going to make it interesting, it was going to be me. It's actually raining outside today, so considering it's a humid day, that's not too bad. You can see, like, that's dry there now. Anyway, see you back here in a minute. Alright, so second coat, I'll wind that fluid in at half a turn. I'll leave the pressure about 20 psi. Now that should be, by all rights, that should be fully covered now. After this second coat. This coat shouldn't take as long to dry. Not that the last coat was bad, but because I'm putting it on a little bit lighter, it's gonna dry a bit quicker. Time for that last coat. I like to go down to 1 bar or 15 psi and come in another half a turn. Even after that second coat, the metallic seems to be laying down quite nice. I found that, like, the first and second coat is all you really need to do on the edges. So mainly focus just on the faces. But yeah, if you're using Biro base, give it a shot. Extra thinners. And see if you notice the dieback going away. I definitely did. It dries down nicer. Okay guys, that's it for the base coat. I'll be back with some clearing to go in a minute. Alright, so I like to give those blends a quick tack rag over. Only the blends. There's a few stray flakes kicking around. I'm yet to have one land in my job, but as you can see, possible contamination. I put the clear coat through a viscosity cup. I don't usually do it, but I did it on this job. Mainly because I like to, I've got this video on the go, top 10 PTG tips and tricks. So I needed to get some footage for that. So be sure to keep an eye out on my main channel for that one. But yeah, this clear coat is running through at 17 seconds, which I reckon is a good viscosity for this clear. A&I Black. This is actually a ripper gun, man. I'll tell you what. Nice big sound on it. Potential to give the other big guns a run for their money. Spray Guns Direct don't have it listed on their site. I don't know if they've got any stock, but I want them to change that because I'd like to see what price point they come in at. Because I could see these being a very, very good option for people. So yeah, I still like to do a 2-coat system. Put a coat down, give it 5 minutes, put your next coat down. I do know how to do the tack and lap, but I just found this gives me better results. I don't like clear that's too thick, whereas this clear is too thick, but I just thin it down. So I just put an extra 30% in. So this job here, I think I mixed up like 800 mils. It asked for 150 mils. I put in 200 mils. So I put the 150 in and then an extra 50. So an extra 30% of the reducer. But like as I've always said, you know, like that doesn't mean you have to put an extra 30% reducer in. It depends what clear you're using. Your clear might already be nice and thin, you know. That's where the viscosity cup actually comes in handy. If you can run your clear at around, I reckon 16 to 18 seconds, you'll be laughing. Anyway, I'm going to go clean my base coat gun out and I'll be back here in a minute. Alright, so it's only been a couple of minutes in between coats, but especially with that extra reducer in there, it flashes off nice and quick. And this gun here operates at high pressure, so I find that gives you like a thinner film build, and obviously a thinner film build, it's got a dry quicker. Plus the other side of it is it's a Mazda, so you don't want too much paint on there, so I'm not going too heavy. So this is actually just a 1.2 mil. There's a few different air caps, so you've got the WB and the clear. This is obviously the clear one, and I've got the 1.2. I was using the 1.3 there last week, or the week before, but I ended up putting the 1.2 on and I've been happy with it. I find it's enough. Yeah, I'm working on this review, guys, so that's why, like as I say, I'm trialing the different air caps, the different fluid tips, just getting a good feel for it, you know. I do go into depth before, like I do like to have a good play around with them before I do my reviews, include as much info as possible. I would like to get the price on it. As I say, I'll sort of ask Spray Guns Direct and say, hey, can you get a few in? If so, what are you going to charge for them? Because that's obviously an important part of any review, the price. But it seems like the Velvet's price are going up. If they go too far, well then maybe this could be the next pro light, mate. Why not? ANI do seem to be a pretty good company as well, from what I gather. They're made in Italy. It's a bloody good looking gun too, and it feels really comfortable. I had that Fuji gun. I don't know if you guys remember, but I did a review on a gun called Fuji. Fuji Spray Auto, MPV8 or something like that. Anyway, I had like solvent base coat in my green pro light, so I had to just find another gun to use. I'm like, I'll just use the Fuji. And it felt really uncomfortable. Like, no disrespect to the Fuji company, but, and yeah, I was just a bit let down by it. I do seem to remember that when I did the review though, it just felt mediocre. Like the price was high. I think they were asking like $700 or $800 for it, and it just didn't feel like a $700 or $800 gun. You know what I mean? Made in Taiwan as well, so you know that it is what it is, mate. Anyway, that's a nice job. We managed not to get any stray flakes in the job. Didn't use too much clear. Like, it probably looked like we were going to use more clear than we did, but maybe the 1.2 is sort of counterizing it, because it looked like there was lots of overspray, but it didn't result in, whoops, that thing's been falling off a lot lately. Sorry guys, that's my GoPro case falling apart. But there you go, there's nice clean job. That's pretty much bang on to the Mazda finishes. Blend up the top there, paint the tailgate. That was literally a blend just for the colour, and it blended out nicely, I reckon. So when that bumper goes on, the colour's going to be the same. We'll just buff that line in. Bob's your uncle, mate. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you have, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. There's this beautiful spray gun that I was using for clear. ANI Black, HPS, 1.2 clear. As I say, keep an eye out for a full review on my main channel for that one. Also, keep an eye out for the top 10 PPG tips and tricks. That's going to be a big video coming soon. As always, if you would like to support the show, be sure to go and check out merchandise links in the description. Buy yourself a Gunman spray suit. We've got loads more hats and all this other stuff. Anyway, until next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out.